I'm Rosanna, property consultant with Bosworth Property Marrakech, and I'm joined by
Colin, CEO of Bosworth Property Marrakech.
Today we're bringing you the second in a series of short interviews helping buyers and sellers understand the processes involved with buying and selling property in Morocco. And this edition is tips and FAQs for first-time buyers. Ready, Colin?
I am.
First question, why should I buy property in Morocco?
Morocco is a fabulous country. It's close to Europe. We're only 8 miles from southern Spain. It's a stable country. It's safe. It's accessible. I mean, here in Marrakech, as you know, Rosanna, we have an airport. It's only 15 minutes drive from our office here, and with flights serving all of Europe. I mean, all the way up to Scotland and Scandinavia, all over Europe, hundreds of flights a day. So it's an accessible, safe, economically developing country. It's actually doing very well. Growth is very high here at the moment. And as we can see in real estate as well, there is upward price pressure. So it's a good time to get in, good time to invest in Morocco.
Super, okay. I would like to earn money from my property. Can I rent it out or run a guest house?
Yes, so there are two major forms of ownership when you're investing in property. You would have your guest house, boutique hotel, which you are of course allowed to buy as a foreigner, and a residential property which you could rent out short-term on Airbnb or other short-term rental portals. So there's nothing to stop you renting your property out for profit, of course.
Okay, third question. Are there any restrictions to foreigners buying property here in Morocco?
So no, the only restriction that there is on the purchase of agricultural land outside an urban development zone. Some land in the countryside can be bought if it has what's called a non-agricultural zone. So what's this famous VNA? But basically you are allowed to own a house, an apartment, a hotel, a shop, and you can have it with freehold, so it's eternal. You can give it on to your children, you can sell it, you can give it away, it's yours.
Now, Morocco is famous as a country for haggling and bargaining. Does this apply to property as well? Are prices negotiable?
It's difficult to say as a general rule, but most people do try to haggle. I mean, it's very infectious when you come to Morocco, and particularly to Marrakech, and you're in the souks, and everybody is haggling. So people do try it with property. Many owners today, especially in the current environment, are saying, no, I'm sticking to my full price, and properties are selling. So there's no hard and fast rule. I always suggest that you give it a try and be prepared if there is no negotiation to pay the full price.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thanks. Couple of logistical questions. Do buyers need a residency visa, a Moroccan bank account, and is it possible to get a mortgage as a foreigner?
So you don't have to be a resident to purchase property in Morocco. I would say that 95% of our clients are non-resident foreigners. A bank account is not necessary either. You can pay the funds for the purchase directly into escrow with the notary. However, we do recommend that for your bills and whatever, you open a convertible dirham account with a local bank and transfer money from abroad into that, just to pay your bills and if you have staff and things like that. Concerning mortgages, it is possible to get a mortgage on certain types of properties, so it must have a freehold title deed. It must not be a going concern, that is to say, banks will not lend against guest houses and hotels or commercial businesses, but they will lend for private residential property. They will lend up to 50%, sometimes a little bit more. The problem with applying for a mortgage here is that many sellers will not tolerate what's called a suspensive clause in the contract linked to the intention of credit. Because it takes the property off the market for up to 3 months, and of course there is no guarantee that you will get your mortgage. So at the end of the day, I would say again 95 to 99% of our property deals are cash, and it is very much a cash market here in Marrakech particularly.
Okay, following on from that, typically how long does the purchase process take once I make an offer, and what are the key stages?
So you will visit the property, you will make an offer on the property, your offer is accepted by the seller. At this point, we as brokers, we contact the notary will draft a contract and emit a call for funds to you, the purchaser. If you are buying directly, this will be for the full price plus fees. We will also bill you at that time for our agency fee. If you're buying a going concern, there will be a 10% deposit, and then usually up to 12-week delay before the purchase of the going concern. And this is because you will need to set up a company here in order to buy the commercial goodwill. Typically, for a residential property, we would count a month as being the maximum necessary period. From seeing the contracts, from transferring your money through the central exchange office in Rabat and into escrow with the notary, this will take 10 days or so. Plan your flight, come in, you sign the papers and you get the keys.
Great. And what are those fees and taxes that you mentioned?
So again, for a residential property, you will have about 10% fees. There is registration fee, there is tax, there is the notary fee, and there is our fee. Altogether, that makes about 10%. Your registration fee is 4%, tax is 2%, the notary fee is 1%, and our agency fee is 3%, inclusive of VAT.
Super. Okay, what happens after I sign the contract? Is there anything I need to do? Or?
Yes. At the signing, basically the notary will provide you with a certificate saying that you have purchased this property. You will then go with the seller, you can go on your own as well, to the local utilities office and to get the counters for the electricity and the water put into your name. You don't have to, but it's advised to. As long as the bills kept getting paid, you won't get cut off. And then basically the notary will do the paperwork with the land registry for you. It usually takes 15 to 20 days to get your name on the new title deed. And from that moment on, you are the proud owner of the property. Once you have the keys, of course, you have use of the property immediately. So you have this certificate to say you've purchased, you've got the keys, you change the counters, and 2 weeks later you have your name on the title deed. So it's all quick and clean.
Pretty simple.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, that's all our FAQs for today. Any final tips or?
I would say come to Marrakech and to Morocco now. I mean, this is a really happening place. Marrakech is more full than I've ever seen it. There's a real buzz, a real energy now in Morocco and in Marrakech in particular. It really is a time to come on in. We can see upward price pressure continuing as visitor numbers continue to increase. So yeah, my advice would be come on in as soon as you can.
Thank you, Colin.
Thank you, Rosanna.
And thank you for watching. If you've got any other questions, leave them in the comments below.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Colin Bosworth, I'm CEO of Bosworth Property Marrakech. Pleased to be with you today, Rosanna.
Pleasure. What? Can we start again?
Start again.
I don't know where we're going with that.